Are your garden tomatoes starting to come on so strong that you'd think they were auditioning for a Fast and Furious franchise? I have a recipe you might not have tried before, but I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. It also includes a copycat recipe that you will love year round. Let's do it. Hey everybody, and welcome to Cooking It Real. I'm Kathy, so glad you could join me today. My backyard garden is bursting with tomatoes. I am so happy about it. I am not complaining at all. Hopefully, if you're growing tomatoes, yours are coming on too. Now, depending on where you live, you might have already had a bountiful harvest, or you may just be watching each and every plant to see when that first blush is going to come on. I'm in East Tennessee in the valley, and we have had tomato harvest now for a couple of weeks. We've had tomato sandwiches, we've had BLTs, we've put them in things, on things, all the things. But I was feeling like I wanted to do something just a little bit different. And I started looking and thinking, what can I do that's a little bit different? Now, we haven't had so many tomatoes that we're ready to can them, okay, because they're coming in sort of like dribs and drabs. Like we might get 6, 8 a day, something like that, and we can save them up and can them, and we're going to do that as the season progresses. But for now, I wanted to make a special recipe that I think you're going to enjoy. And like I teased at the beginning of this video, I found a copycat recipe for something that I have been eating for years that I love, that will save you money. Who doesn't like that? And it will also be something that you will want to keep in your repertoire, and you will use it year round. So what is this amazing recipe that I'm talking about? Well, it's a take on an old-fashioned tomato pie, but we're going to kind of gussy it up a little bit. This is a tomato galette. Now, galette is just a fancy French word for, not for pie, but for like a rustic crust. It's a recipe that's simple. It's a recipe that's fairly quick. It's a recipe that you can make to your own specifications. There are shortcuts, there are cheats, all the things. But one thing that's the most important is a vine-ripened tomato from the garden, hopefully from the farmer's market, from your local produce stand, wherever you live. Even if you don't have a garden, you can find good tomatoes in the summertime. And this is the perfect way to take full advantage of it. All right, let's get busy. The first thing we have to do is take a sheet pan and put it in a 425-degree oven and get it heating up. That will help our tomato pie, aka galette crust, brown better on the bottom. Right now, I want to introduce you to some of my babies, my tomato babies. This is Mr. Stripey. I love how the bumps and grooves on the top of this is so cute. As they get bigger, they get more yellow around the tops. I love that. Yellow, speaking of yellow, this one is called Lemon Boy. And my husband says it tastes really lemony. I don't always get that, but he says it does. This is a Cherokee Purple. We've harvested about 3 Cherokee Purples so far. They're the last ones to start ripening for us. We haven't cut one yet, so I am so excited to see what it looks like inside. This is an early girl. It is one of our most consistent performers. We grew this from seeds that we saved from last year, which were the plants were from seeds that we saved the year before. So this one is really starting to become part of our permaculture. And this little guy is a Wisconsin 55. It's a new variety we're trying this year. And so far so good. This is kind of a small one. We had a little bit of a raid on our tomato patch, and either a bird or a squirrel or somebody just like absolutely took a tomato about this size and ate the most of it. And so it had to be somebody big. Maybe it was Chucky. I don't know. I have this knife. We call it our sushi knife, but I don't know if you can see the serrations on it. I think a serrated knife is the easiest way to cut tomatoes. That's just my personal preference. All right, what we want to do is we want to take these tomatoes, and this is about 2 pounds of tomatoes. You need 1 to 2 pounds. You can mix up. You can have one kind of tomato. You can have cherry tomatoes. You can have a mix of all different tomatoes. That's what I'm doing today. No cherries though. For some reason, we don't have cherries this year. Usually, if we have cherries, they're volunteers. So, but we're just gonna slice these tomatoes into about a 1/4 inch slice. And they are just so lovely, so juicy. Oh, look at that. I think I might save that Cherokee purple for last. Oh my gosh. See, this is one of the big rewards about growing your own, is that when you do open them up, you say like, oh my gosh, that's the best. Now, I'm saving these to nibble on maybe, or for my scrap bag for sure. All right, over you go. I'm probably going to wind up taking the cores out of these, or else not even using those slices for this. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. All right, let's get this lemon boy opened. Let's see what this beauty looks like. Oh, baby, look at you. Look at you, pretty boy. Oh my gosh. You handsome fellow. Oy, oy, oy. So yummy. Now, you know, when you first start getting your tomatoes ripe, you want this tomato sandwich. Now, in the South, and I didn't grow up in the South, so this is not something I remember growing up with, but as soon as I found out about it, I was all over it. A tomato sandwich is 2 slices of soft white bread, mayonnaise, Duke's mayonnaise if you're in the South, and just your slices of tomatoes. It's like a, oh, look at this. It's like a, you know, what do I want to say? A minimalist BLT. There's no B, there's no L, there's just the T. Oh, look at this. Oh, mercy, this is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, look how, that's like, I don't know if the color is going to translate for you on your screen, but oh, these are so vibrant. Okay, now, the moment I personally have been waiting for. Step aside, tomatoes. Here comes the Cherokee purple. All right, let's see. You gonna be a good one? Are you ready? Ooh. Oh yeah, look at you. Oh man, oh man. Look at you. Now, I think this one could have been a little more ripe. It would have been a little darker on the skin, but it's still so beautiful. Oh. All right, now what we have to do, I have a small sheet pan right here, okay, and a double layer of paper towels. And we're just going to put these tomatoes on the sheet pan, and we're going to try to release some of the moisture. Yeah, I know, some of the goodness, but we don't want our pie to be like super soggy or anything. And you know, I said it was 2 pounds of tomatoes, and that's 2 pounds of tomatoes that I weighed with, you know, the whole tomatoes. So you really need like 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of tomatoes. So that doesn't count the tops and things, all right? So when you take off the tops and you take out some of the core, you might be left with the amount of tomatoes that you need. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle some salt on these. Oh, I don't have enough room. I'm going to get a plate and some more paper towels. Yes. And you know, if there's any parts of this that I don't use in this dish, oh, yum. I'm just going to save it. I'm going to put these tops just right into my scrap bag, put it back in my freezer, and that'll be a glorious addition. So next we're going to take about a half a teaspoon of salt. That's about a quarter teaspoon, and we're going to sprinkle it over our beautiful tomatoes. What we're going to try to do is release some of the moisture. Oh my gosh. Look at these guys. Look at this. That just makes me happy. Happy, happy. All right. Then we're going to turn them over. We've salted one side. Now these ends, we're not going to get any moisture out of them, so we don't have to salt them again, but let's turn these guys over. And once we salt the second side, we're going to let them sit for about 10 minutes. Now, meanwhile, not 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Meanwhile, we have our sheet pan in the oven that is going to be in there for 20 minutes at 425. All right. Now, let's dry my hands. More salt. Nothing goes better with tomatoes than salt, right? Oy. Just bring the salt into the garden, eat them right off the vine. All right, I'm going to put these off to the side, and now we're going to make that special copycat recipe that I told you about. This copycat recipe is for a special cheese blend that you find in the grocery store. It comes in a little tub inside a little box, and it has a name that starts with a B and rhymes with Morsan cheese, and it comes in like garlic and herb flavors. It's very spreadable, it's very delightful, it's a dip, it's amazing. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to make it right now. What you need is a block of cream cheese. You want to have this at room temperature, so make sure that you get it out and get it all up to the right temp before you're ready to begin. Oh, and as Corinne would say, these nails are jewels, not tools. I'm learning how to use my hands with actual lovely nails. All right, so this is 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. I love cream cheese. You just say cream cheese and I'm in. With that, you want 1 stick or 4 ounces of butter, also at room temperature. You don't want to, if it's not at room temperature, just wait. Don't put it in the microwave. Don't try to melt it. If you really want to soften something up real fast, what you would do is take like a bowl or something that can fit over the stick of butter or the cream cheese, and put some water in it, or put some boiling water in it, or put some water in it and heat it up in your microwave. And then when it's hot or boiling, dump the water out, put your cream cheese or butter down on a plate or on your counter, flip the bowl over so it's sitting on top of it, and then just wait. That's not going to melt it, but it is going to soften it a little bit faster. Okay, oh, see now, this is just perfection. This is perfection. All right, so now, I don't know if you knew what Morsan, that starts with a B, cheese, was made of, but I didn't know that it was like cream cheese and butter, but it is. So who can argue with that? Anyway, mix that up. And the next thing you need to add is a garlic clove. I have minced that on my microplane. Come on out. Let's see how I'm going to do it. If you're not a big fan of garlic, don't add garlic. You don't have fresh garlic, add a little garlic powder. This is adaptable. You can make it your own. If like you, well, I was going to say if you don't like anything spicy or whatever, or like garlic, then don't add it at all. But oh, what a sad state of affairs. All right, I'm gonna mix that in a little bit. Oh, I'm loving this already. This is gonna make, I think, more than I need, but that is not a problem because this stays well in your fridge for weeks. All right, let's see what else now. Oh, I need like a tablespoon and a half of grated Parmesan cheese. And the recipe, the Copycat recipe says, use the real stuff. All right. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. Get it on my microplane. Let's see if I can eyeball a tablespoon and a half. All right. You watch it as it's falling down and tell me when to stop. Like I'm ever going to stop. Like more is not better in my world. More is always better. I'm trying to think of when it wouldn't be, but yeah, more is always better. This cheese has been haunting my husband in the fridge. I bought it the other day knowing I was going to do this recipe. And he's like, oh, do you need that cheese? It's like, yes, I do. He's like, oh, I'm trying to stay away from it. Oh, no, a little bit more. Are you saying stop yet? I can't hear you. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Yeah, there's no salt in this other than the salt that's in the Parmesan. So we'll taste it. And if it needs salt, then we'll add more Parmesan. How about that? All right, mix that up a little bit. Oh, yes. All right, and now we add our herbs. So now it's just a garlic, more sand that begins with a B. See, I'm new to YouTube. I'm not sure what I can say. I don't want to get dinged for, copyright infringement or anything like that. So I'm just trying to be a little careful. All right, I want to show you what I have here. All right, this is the combination called for in the recipe. We have about a half a tablespoon or like 2 teaspoons, teaspoon and a half of fresh dill. We got a boatload of dill. It's on its way out, so this is kind of the last of the dill. Same amount for chives. Our chives are languishing in the heat, but they're doing okay. This is about a half teaspoon of dried oregano. This is about the same amount of dried thyme. This is some crushed basil, about the same amount, about a half a teaspoon from my garden last year. And I hate to say this, but our basil is struggling this year. We're having terrible luck with our basil. I've started more seeds, so hopefully we can recover. I don't know. This is fresh parsley. This is about a good heaping tablespoon and about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, so dill, chives, oregano, thyme, basil, parsley, pepper. Everyone into the pool. Come on. There we go. This is what's going to make it special. Ooh, yeah. Oh, it smells good. Smells so good. This cheese spread, if you buy it at the store, it comes in 5.2 ounce packages. And if you don't want to make this yourself, this recipe calls for a 5.2 ounce package. So feel free to use that, quick step. However, that package costs depending on your store, between $6 and $9. And it's like, no. But hey, all right, Let's give this a taste. I'm sure as this sits, it will be even better, but let's just see. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, that is so tasty. If you don't have tomatoes, if you don't want to make the tomato galette, make this anyway. You are going to thank me. Put it in your fridge. Put it on a sandwich. Hey, if you're doing tomato sandwiches and you don't want to do the mayonnaise, this would be so perfect. Plus, you know, on crackers, this goes good with, I'm like kind of speechless right now. I can't even think of what it goes good with. It goes good with everything. It's the perfect thing like for the holidays, canapes, you know, on a cheese board. So good. All right. It doesn't need anything. I'm not going to add any more Parmesan. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. So we're just going to put this aside. Okay, so I got just a little bit ahead of myself. And before I do my pie crust, I have to mix up this cheese mixture. And because I need 5.2 ounces, and I know this is more than that, I'm just going to weigh it out on my handy dandy scale. Let's see. That looks about, doesn't that look like what you get in a package? Let's see. 4.5. 5.25. That is absolutely perfect. And look at how much is left. Okay, so this is at least 2 packages of that cheese that starts with B and rhymes with Morsan. All right, excellent. So to this, we need to add about a half cup of sharp cheddar cheese. I'm just gonna do it on this microplane. It's gonna take forever because it's so tiny. That's about right. And of course, if you want to use pre-grated cheese, absolutely feel free to do that. Same with the herbs and spices and stuff. If you don't have the fresh, just use the dried. No probs. All right, let's mix this up a little bit. Can you see that? Hope you can see that. Mixing together. What else do we have to add? Oh my gosh, where's my recipe? Let me see. Oh, yes. Oop, that's our sheet pan is done. Okay, that means our tomatoes are done too. All right, so we got about 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh basil, and that was hard fought to find enough good fresh basil today. I'm so disappointed. Hopefully, second round will be better. Let's see. A half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper. This is totally optional. You could leave that out if you wanted, but you know, tomatoes don't hate the heat. And a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I just had black pepper here. Hang on. All right. Mixy. Oh. Put this on a cracker, baby. Or better yet, put this on a tomato galette. Oh, I gotta taste this. Absolutely must. Even better. Mercy. All right, now it's time for pie crust. Before I start with the pie crust, I'm just gonna take some paper towel and blot these tomatoes to get up some of the extra moisture. The cheese is going to act like a barrier. We're going to put the cheese on the pie crust, and it's going to act like a barrier to keep the moisture off of the crust. Look at these beauties. Oh my gosh. Oh. This pie crust I made last night, and it's a pie crust I've been making for years and years. It's Martha Stewart's pie crust, or pie dough. She calls it pâte brisée because she's fancy like that. And it's really pretty simple. For one crust, you need 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar, 1 stick of butter that is very, very cold. I usually put my butter in the freezer and do it that way. And then a little bit of water. I do it in the food processor, and it comes together real quick. We'll talk about pie crusts in another video, but maybe like when we start doing actual like holiday pies or something like that. But this is a Martha Stewart's pie crust. You can find it online. It's a easy recipe. And this, you know, you only need one crust because it's the bottom crust, but it's also the top crust. And you'll see when we put it together just how this works out. It has come to be, even on the holidays, you know, apple pies and things like that. I make them galette style now for the past, like, I don't know, 10 years or so, because A, it's so much easier than making 2 crusts, and B, it's so much more attractive, I think, because you get to see what's actually in the pie. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing hidden. You get to look at all the goodness, and it is so beautiful. This is a dish that you could definitely serve at a dinner party, a barbecue. You know, you could just show someone some love. All right, I should have put a little flour down. I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to flip this. 1 second. All right, I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on here. Smush it around. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just too excited about the tomatoes. I think I'm going to try to pull this up, and I'm just like trying to roll it on my rolling pin, and then I'll try to flour the underside. Yeah, baby, come on. There we go. Yeah, that's the ticket. Now, if this goes horribly wrong, well, maybe I'll make a blooper reel. All right, here we go. All right. Smush, smush. Pull it back out. Everybody good? All right, maybe we're gonna get a little bit more flour in case I need it as an emergency. All right, here we go. Now you're gonna roll this out to the thickness of your basic pie crust. Now that's gonna be between about a quarter inch. You know, pie crusts aren't thin like crackers, but they're not thick. They're not cookies. And they don't have to be perfectly shaped either. That's what makes this a galette, what makes it so rustic. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this already. All right, and you want to do it on a parchment paper. I don't think I said that before, but you really do, because we're going to slide this onto that hot sheet pan that's been in the oven. All right, so this is about, yeah, this is perfect thickness. All right, so let's take our cheese mixture. And we want to, I'm just going to spoon it out with this fork, but then I'm going to spread it with my spatula. We want to leave a border. of about 1.5 inches so we can fold it over. This is something you can make, small ones, big ones, you know, make them for a crowd, make them for 2. Make it with just 1 tomato. It all works. Let's see. Oh, we need some up here. All right, let's see. This is a pretty thick bed of cheese here. This is looking good. I'd say this is a good, 3/8 of an inch almost. It's like nice and thick. Oh, gotta drag it over to this side a little bit because got more crust over here. But you know, play with it. It's kind of fun actually. Try to make your cheese consistent as far as how thick it is in all the different spaces. That'll just help things cook in a way that makes you happy. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. Over here, baby. I'll give you a little extra love. All right. Nice. Wipe my fingers off. I think I might blot those tomatoes one more time. Let's see how we're going to arrange these. Okay. I'm going to use all these guys first. I'm not going to make like a thing. I'm just going to put them on. Oh, you brother. Ah, so pretty. Look at you, baby. Oh, yes. Look at you. Cherokee purple. Lemon boy. Oh, lemon boy. Early girl. Wisconsin. Oh my gosh. All right. More Cherokee purple. Oh, let's put this over here. And another lemon boy. Yeah, I got more tomatoes than I got crust. Let's see. You know, you could take bits and pieces and stick them in. I don't know that I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to leave it. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, because these tomatoes are not going to go to waste, that's for sure. Now we're going to make it into a galette. We're going to start folding in the sides. We just put them on top like that. See that? Nothing to it. Hello, Duchess. Oh, look at how pretty. All right. Oh, okay. Nope. Now I've decided I am going to take a little bit and put them in the nooks and crannies. Let's see. Yeah, like this. You know, this is the fun part of being in the kitchen. It's like, do I want to do something extra? Yes, I do. Alrighty then, do it. Yes, extra. There you go. Just stuff them in there. Oh, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Boop, 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 boop. Now, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of black pepper on this. And then I'm going to get me a beaten egg to brush around the crust. All Our tomato galette is about to come out of the oven. Full disclosure, because this is cooking it real, the recipe said 25 to 30 minutes at 425. At 30 minutes, I thought it needed just a little bit more time, so I'm giving it 35 minutes. So 5 more minutes, okay? While we're waiting for that, I would like to say, if you have enjoyed this video, if you're having a good time spending this time talking about tomatoes, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider that as well. If you have subscribed, know that I really, really appreciate you. I love how my channel is growing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I have let this galette cool for about 15 minutes, and now is the moment of truth. Not sure where to start with this one. Got a little bit of breakage on this side. Full disclosure, cooking it real all the time. I think I want to start over here. So I'm just gonna take just a little piece. I want that red tomato, but this is breaking off. I think I might go for Lemon Boy. This is just a tiny piece. But still. Ooh. Let's see if we can see the crust on the bottom. Oh, let's see. Is cooked. It's very crumbly. Did I tell you that you could use a store-bought crust if you wanted to? You totally can. Okay. This looks delicious. Let's see if that pastry can be cut with a fork. Yes, absolutely. Ooh, come on, baby. Get on my fork. Oh, okay. First of all, the crust is flaky, buttery, delicious. The cheese, you know, just that little bit of black pepper and red pepper flake gave it a kick. If you're not into a kick, leave it out. The tomato flavor comes through superbly. I'm just gonna go for it. That's like the taste of summer tomatoes in a totally different way. If I would do anything different, I don't know that I'd do anything different. I might make the crust a little bit bigger and spread the cheese out a little bit more. And see, I still have all these tomatoes left. I might make it a little bit bigger and have more tomatoes, but otherwise, oh, it tastes fabulous. And look at this. Look at how much I have left of the cheese that rhymes with Morrison, begins with a B. This has been a great dish, and I'm so glad you're here to cook it along with me. I hope you try it. I hope you like it, and I will see you next time on Cooking It Real. Bye.